Hello friends, I'm Saloni Lamba, holistic health coach and psychologist by profession. Today, the topic for discussion is power of breathing. This is something, which is very basic for our survival, yet taken for granted. So to explore this more, we will be diving into understanding the physiology and the psychology behind it and making the most out of it with the practical implications. So, before actual starting of the session, I really want all of you to be more alert and aware. And in order to be more aware, we will be doing one of the basics brain gym exercise, that is pulling your thinking caps, top, center, bottom, top, center, bottom. Last round, top, center, and bottom. This helps your brain to be more active and alert. Apart from this, in order to be mindful of what we are doing right now, I really want you to bring your awareness on your five senses. Anything which you can touch right now, anything which you can taste right now, anything which you can smell right now, anything which you can hear right now, and any one thing which you can visualize or which you can see right now. Be mindful. It takes only a minute to be mindful of all the five senses around you. And that is the zone of complete awareness, where you are fully there doing what was instructed you to do. That is the power of mindfulness. It's not a rocket science thing that we really need to deliberately sit at one place and then bring back the focus. It can happen instantly. Just by being aware of your own five senses at the place we are sitting in, it can bring back that immense power and strength and control over your own self. So listen to your body. It's smarter than we think it is. So before starting the session, as human beings, we have a lot of questions in our mind, and we are designed like that. We have evolved like that. So we really need to understand where it comes from. So this, if you can see here, the primitive man, the basic primary needs were just food, hunger, shelter, and reproduction. And for us, when we have evolved, the needs have changed and we have highly evolved cognition. So primitive man, whatever used to come, they used to just take in. They were high on their own subconscious mind. It was so receptive, it takes in whatever used to come in. With evolution, with this evolved brain and cognition, our ever conscious mind, or maybe ever alert and active mind, always questions up thing, why we really need to do this. If you see here, the modern man still lives in the cave, in the cage of technology. The irony is that I'm doing this session using the technology, but yes, for the wiser and the healthier reason. If you are the one who is spending the time more on Netflix, Amazon Prime, or maybe any other social media and networking site, and it takes about your majority part of the day, you really need to see where you're heading. And I'm sure each one of you can relate to the posture of this man right now. It's such a comforting posture, but very damaging to your physical body and to your own psychological self, because your breathing is getting disturbed here. We'll explore this thing more. So coming on to, if we buy a new car, we always take care of that car. We go for servicing of that car, maybe within 6 months or maybe in a year. And we are trying to maintain it as good as possible so that it is working in a right condition and giving you a comfort. So similarly is our body, how often we do take our time to take care of our body. And we really need to do that. We have taken it for granted. Do we actually take care of our body by exercising, by doing walking, by just being more physically active? Are we doing some mind games, or we have just completely got dependent on computer or maybe on phones just to even solve basic things for maths, or even doing some kind of analytical problem solving skills which is required? Are we taking care of our emotions? Are we focusing on emotional intelligence? Or we just let emotions control ourselves? Last thing is the spirit. Do we take out time to connect with our own self? In this world of full of technology, full of rat race, where we are heading, what we want, the primary and the basic needs have just been taken a back seat, and which is very, very, very important. Mind you, breathing is the link between your mind and body. Why it is important, we'll get to know shortly. So, for a minute, just sit comfortably, take your breathing as normal as, hold for 60 seconds to see how many count of breaths you have in a minute. If you are having more than 15 breaths in a minute, it's a real sign of worry. If it is around 10, fairly good enough, and below 10, superbly awesome. That's called even the yogic breathing. But because most of the people are always in their hyperactive zone and live a stress-free life, the breathing rate are much faster and they're not even aware of it. We can just see with the difference of how a dog breathes, 24 breaths per minute, and the lifespan is 10 to 16 years. 12 breaths per minute for an elephant, and it lives around 80 years. 4 to 5 breaths per minute, around 100 years for a turtle. And one breath, 90 minutes, over 200 years for a whale. That's their life expectancy. Where we are heading. Right breathing is equal to increased longevity. With modernization and technological era, we are all familiar with that we can live around 90 years and above. But is that a quality life? Is that a life where we are free from diseases and ailments? Is that a life where we are living longer but full of medications being taken in, with having a lot of lifestyle disorders starting at very early age and going on till end? Where we are heading? Breathing right can improve our longevity, can improve our skill sets, can improve the way we function. It is connected to all the areas of your life, especially the body, which is a channel for you to take any actions. Now, in order to understand it much deeper, we really need to understand this respiratory system which we have, and now mostly being talked about because of COVID, where people are facing a lot of issues because of this virus, which is infecting their respiratory system and lungs. Even the healthiest of people getting affected so much that their lungs are being damaged. Mind you, we don't have any control over external viruses. They are going to increase. Biological weapons are going to increase immensely. But do we think our bodies and minds are that strong to deal with it, to even prevent it, or to even face them? So if we really want to have a strong body, mind, we really need to work upon our breathing. All of us are familiar with this belly breathing or diaphragmatic breathing. This kind of breathing is very normal in infants. If you've ever seen a small infant sleeping, you will see them that when they inhale, the stomach expands, and when they exhale out, the stomach contracts. Very, very easy to do. But we forget. Right now when you're sitting, the breathing is so involuntary, you may not even realize that you're breathing shallow. You may be sleepy right now, or you may be in a lethargic zone where it is leading to less oxygen in your brain and other body parts. And your body needs deliberate effort to pump in that blood to different body parts, because the oxygen levels are actually low when we sit and have a sedentary lifestyle. Understand this thing also here. This nasal cavity plays a very important role. Your nostrils, the hairs, they prevent you to have any kind of pollens, viruses, and infections being passed down. Then your air never goes directly inside. It has to pass through various channels within, warming up the air, heating the air, and then going it down. So if you expand your chest, you will see your diaphragm getting contracted. And when it contracts, it gives your heart and lungs the space and a rest. And when it is relaxing, you will see here the other body organs getting massaged. The stomach area, a lot of pancreas and your intestine, they are getting massaged by this. So always emphasize on this kind of breathing. And you have to do it consciously because we don't do that. Try to do this in the morning, in the afternoon, and in evening. 3 times with conscious breath, 5 deep, long breaths with conscious awareness can bring back a lot of difference. Apart from this, this diaphragmatic breathing has an important role in your lymphatic system, which is responsible for purifying your blood. And when you have more purified blood, you feel more active, energized, and you feel lively. So, in order to have that proper flow of blood, please try and do this belly breathing as often as possible. Moving on to very important and very powerful technique of breathing known as bumblebee breathing, or maybe in Sanskrit known as Bhramri Pranayam. And trust me, our Indian Vedic text is full of knowledge and information about how we can heal ourselves through our breath. So, pranayam, prana means life-giving energy, and ayam means to channelize it. So when we're talking about Brahmri, we mean that we really, really need to be focused about our own breath, and it is very easy. How you do that is when you inhale, you are aware of your breath, and as you exhale out, you're creating a slight humming sound. So it happens like this: inhaling, exhaling. For better experience, you can close your eyes, you can put your thumbs on your ears and feel the vibration going and flowing in your entire body. It instantly, even just 5 count of such breathing can reduce your stress level, it can reduce your heart rate, it can improve your cognitive functioning, your thinking, reasoning, understanding, problem solving, and decision making. And it also leads to increase in nitric oxide, the molecule which is already present in your body. But when it increases, it actually fights infections, it helps in reducing your inflammation, it helps in even releasing a lot of breathing issues, your common cold and cough. Try it out next time when you feel that you have a cold and it's not going before sleeping. Just do humming for 5 minutes. You will have a better induced sleep. You will also see that your cold is gone. It's just been released. And it also clears your nasal cavity. And highly scientifically researched, apart from this, this is very useful for people who have gone through COVID or on a preventive mode. You can try out this Bhramri Pranayam. You can increase nitric oxide in your body by intake a lot of foods like pomegranate, like your citrus fruits, which have a lot of vitamin C, green leafy vegetables, and having good nuts. There are a lot of researchers which say that they help in improving your nitric oxide levels in body within consumption of that on a regular basis, at least for more than a week. Okay, so this is very, very, very helpful pranayam. Try to do it in a day. So next thing which is very important is when you are talking about breath, we really need to focus on taming our monkey mind, and we can do that with the power of breathing. Despite, we are engaged in our lives so much that we don't even realize where we are heading, how the day starts, how it ends, and in between are 60,000 thoughts which are being bombarded, which are being mixed, and we are not even consciously aware of doing what we are doing. We're in such an autopilot mode that we don't even realize what and how of things are happening. It's just happening. And if we look and reflect back upon, all the thoughts were positive, or they were negative too, or they were overgeneralized and over exaggerated ones too. Understand where we are heading with controlled breathing, with deep breathing only, with doing this Bhramri. You can easily tame your monkey, ever chattering mind. You may have realized even if you do 2 counts of this Brahmri, your mind is free from any thought, any thought. Trust me, try it out. Next, very important, like this tree with 2 branches, if you wave one, the other would be affected. Similarly, our breath and emotions are connected. If we have heightened emotions like aggression, it may lead to hyperventilating breathing. So breathing is so rapid and fast. And if we are sad, we're down, we are hurt, we may see our breathing getting more shallow. And it goes vice versa. If you breathe shallow, definitely the low moods are seen. If you breathe so fast, you are so hyperactive. At times going into the negative zone of being aggressive and violent too. So focus on your breath, primarily important. Now, understanding this stress response also, stress is something which is bound to be there. It's only us who really need to choose the right responses to stress. Whenever we are in stressful situation or we are highly anxious, either we'll flight or we'll freeze. When we say we are fighting, we may be angry, we'll be irritable, we'll be taking actions, we'll be attacking that situation, or maybe we'll be running away from that. We'll be fearful, we'll freeze, we'll just not do anything, we'll be stuck at one place. These all are the bodily responses. In order to understand this further, we really, really need to understand that we do have a system which is your autonomic nervous system. Whenever it is activated, whenever we are in stressful situation, your sympathetic nervous system is activated, your pupil dilates, your heart beat faster, your lung oxygen intake is reduced, stomach contracts, and when the body gets back to normal, parasympathetic helps in calming it down, restoring the homeostasis and balance. These are physiological changes which happen when the body is in stress, and body has its own healing capacity to get back to normal. And the psychological ones would be your irritability, anger, fatigue, tiredness, muscle tension. And on the other side of when you are on the parasympathetic mode system, you're more happy, you're more relaxed, you're more calmer. So understand why there is a need to understand this physiology is that we can actually work upon enhancing this parasympathetic one. Shortly, I'll be telling you this box breathing technique, but beforehand, I'll tell you that what happens, when the body is in sympathetic mode, after a few minutes, it comes back to parasympathetic. But if your stressors are there every day, and they're increasing and increasing and increasing, and you are always in a stress zone, you're not giving your body a rest period of time, it would lead the body to collapse. Then is a time where you will be facing a lot of coronary heart diseases, a lot of psychological and psychosomatic diseases. So in order to prevent that, one of the beautiful techniques is box breathing. You can try it right now here only. You inhale to the count of 4. You hold your breath for 4 counts. Then you exhale for 4 counts, and then again you hold for 4 counts. Do this thing at least 7 times. You can see your parasympathetic nervous system getting activated. You are much more calmer, you are much more relaxed, and you are in charge of your breath. Holding breath is one of the beautiful techniques which has been evident in all the civilizations, whether it is Greek, whether it is Chinese, whether it is Indian. The monks, the yogis in Himalayas, they can hold their breath for longer period of time. They can control their bodily organs, their food intake, their hunger. Even they can just be in one sheet of clothes and sitting in that cold region without feeling any kind of discomfort. It's all because of the power of breath and regulating it with their own self. So understand why it is important. Because if you can see, if you take a long deep breath, try to hold it for a minute. The maximum you can hold, you can see what is your lung capacity. And the sooner you give up, understand you really need to work upon increasing and enhancing your respiratory system. So box breathing, important technique. Now, one last thing which I really want all of you to do along with me is the small ocean breathing. It's one of the wonderful ways to relax your mind and body instantly. This will help you to slow down, reflect, and relax. So, glow with the flow. I want all of you to close your eyes. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Inhale and exhale out slowly, your body getting completely relaxed. Imagine yourself on the ocean shore, sitting on the sand, the feet touching the water as it comes towards you. And going back, you can see the beautiful sun, the warmth of the sun, the cool breeze around, you and your own thoughts in this serene environment full of bliss. Inhale deeply, exhale completely. With each inhalation you take, your mind getting relaxed, your body getting relaxed as the waves touch your toes. To take away all the fear, all the anxiety, all the tensions. And as you inhale, they bring back all the positivity, strength, love, and happiness around. Be in this moment, a blissful moment with your own self. Inhale and exhale. Be the silent observer of your thoughts. Let them come, let them pass by like the waves. They don't stop. Every wave is different. You can never hold it. So don't hold your thoughts. Let them pass by. Let yourself free. You choose to be free. You choose to be happy. You choose to be healed and whole. Inhale and exhale. Hear this beautiful ocean sound. Be peaceful and mindful of it for a minute. Whenever you feel comfortable, just rub your hands, put on your eyes, bless yourself and the world around. Hug yourself tight. You are a loving soul. You are a happy soul. So remember, breathe deeply, do be breathing, do box breathing, be conscious of your thoughts, be mindful, be happy, healthy, and safe. Thank you.